Hi,
Hel-
Miss.
Hello, Dustin. Where were you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
That's
What
good to
about
hear, Miss.
why are you so late?
Basically, I usually go on my computer, but then it was just glitching, so I had to come on my phone.
Okay.
Miss, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, okay.
I've asked pretty much every teacher today. Miss, do you know if school's opening on Sunday or not?
I don't know.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
We have not been told anything so far. So I
Okay.
don't know whether it is on or not. I'd like to go back to work and meet you guys. And I have had enough of me time at home.
Yeah, I get it.
So, did you ask the school? What is the school saying?
Well, I don't think the school's really said anything. I think it should. I think it's starting. I don't know. Most of the teachers either said yes or they don't know. So
Yeah, because it has to come in writing from the Ministry of Education.
okay. So will it come in the next few days if school starts?
So, yeah, if they say okay, if mosques are open, I think they should open schools as well. I don't
Yeah.
know. So, till they ask us to open the school, we can't open.
Mm, fair enough.
So unless the Ministry of Education comes in, we can't say anything. So that's why. You will come to know, don't worry. Whenever the school opens, you come to know. Okay, I think we have enough people, 18 of us. Others who are not coming, well, we decided not to come then. Right, so I'm going to start with chapter 9 today. That is on circulatory system, which is the heart and the circulatory system, right? So, by the way, I am not going to record today's lecture because what's going on? Please mute your computers. I don't want to hear your message notification. Who's this? Okay. You've done quite a bit, year 10E. Right. Okay. Whoever has their microphones unmuted, please mute it. Right. This is chapter 9, the heart and the circulatory system of mammals. So, first we will look at the circulatory system. So the body has its own transport system, right? That carries.
Miss, you're
You're
not
not
sharing your
sharing your
screen.
screen.
Oh, okay. I
The
know.
timing.
I know. Uh, just start. Right. Okay. You can see it now?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So, circulatory system. What does it mean? The word circulation. Anyone? What do you mean by circulation? Hmm? Nobody? Anything?
I feel like should I say it?
Yeah. Say, Ara.
So basically, is it basically moving around?
Yes, moving around of the inside the body is circulation. And what are the components of the circulatory system? You think?
heart,
Heart, okay. What else?
arteries and veins.
That is what? That is the vessels, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
and
Lungs.
Blood.
Lungs.
blood. Lungs, who said lungs? Lungs is part of the respiratory system, no?
I didn't say it.
I don't know who said. Somebody said lungs. Lungs is part of the respiratory system. We're talking about the circulatory system. And yes, the organs that are involved in the system are heart and the blood vessels and the blood itself. The body's transport system is called the circulatory system because it circulates different substances or carries different substances around the body. Now, inside
Miss,
the
please go back
why
so I can write it down.
you don't have to write down. When I tell you to write, you write. The three organs involved are heart, blood vessels, and blood in circulatory system. Now, the gases which are transported to and from the body cells by the blood flowing in the circulatory system are, what are the gases do you think that the circulatory system circulates?
Oxygen and CO2.
That's right, oxygen and CO2. Oxygen is going to the cells, and when, oh, my battery is really poor. I have to go and charge. Yeah, so the oxygen that is circulated in the circulation is taken in by the cells, right? To do what? Huh? The oxygen that is transported to the cells is used up by the cells in which process?
Respiration.
Respiration. And what gas is released by respiration?
CO2.
That goes back inside the circulatory system. So the gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide, which are transported to and from the body cells by the blood flowing in the circulatory system, right? So oxygen is the gas which is needed for respiration and is transported to the body cells by blood vessels called arteries. We're going to look at the blood vessels in detail later on in the lesson. Okay. Right now, just know this, that oxygen is carried through the body's blood vessels called arteries, and carbon dioxide is the waste gas which is produced by respiration that must be carried away from the body cell by blood vessels called veins.
Not even near the boys.
What is that?
No.
What are you all saying? I don't understand. What's going on? Whose microphone is on and somebody is talking over the phone? Excellent. Please mute yourselves. Who's this? Zara. Mute yourself, Zara. I don't know who's, I can hear a whole lot of background. Right. So the carbon dioxide is the waste gas which is produced by respiration, and it is carried by the blood through a blood vessel called veins, right? So the circulatory system now therefore carries two types of blood. One is oxygen-rich blood and the other is oxygen-poor blood. The oxygen-rich blood is called oxygenated blood, okay? And the oxygen-poor blood is called deoxygenated blood. So how do you write oxygenated and deoxygenated? So oxygenated will be oxygen-rich blood. Deoxygenated will be oxygen-poor blood or carbon dioxide-rich blood. Okay. Um, so yeah, right. Here, oxygen-rich blood means blood is traveling to the body cells. It has high oxygen content and it has very low carbon dioxide content. So what will be the characteristics of oxygen-poor blood? It will be blood traveling what?
Out. Out.
Away from the body cells. Will it have high oxygen content? No, right? It will have poor oxygen content and high carbon dioxide content. So blood traveling away from the body cells, it will have low oxygen content and high carbon dioxide content. So from now on, oxygen-rich blood, I will call it oxygenated blood. Oxygen-poor blood, I will call it deoxygenated blood. All right. Moving on. The arrangement of this circulatory system is such that these two types of blood do not mix. Okay. And why do you think that is important? Why do you think these shouldn't mix? Hmm?
So that like carbon dioxide can diffuse out of the lung, out of the body, and oxygen can diffuse into the cells.
Okay, so that all the cells get oxygen and carbon dioxide is thrown out of the body. Okay,
Yes.
the heart is the organ at the center of the circulatory system. It pumps blood around the body, correct? So that is the key player, the heart. Now, here are two types of blood, oxygen rich and oxygen poor, which is kept apart inside the heart. So, how are the two types of blood kept apart inside the heart? There is a thick muscular tissue called septum.
Sept.
Yes, that is right, which divides the chambers of the heart. We'll see in a minute how, when we go through the different parts of the heart, and you'll see how one part of the heart has only deoxygenated blood and the other part of the heart has oxygenated blood. Okay, so the inside of the heart is divided into two sections so that the two types of blood, oxygen rich and oxygen poor, are kept apart. Okay, now. It's very important for you to understand the right side and the left side of the heart, right? So when you just look at this heart over here, remember that the heart is always labeled as if it is in the body, it is in a body facing you. So that means for the body, which will be the right and which will be the left side of the heart, it will be your opposite. Let me just explain it. So, how come I have, okay. So when you look at a heart, okay, let me show you the picture of a heart. So whenever you look at the heart like this, okay, now you will look at the heart, okay, in the camera, it has flipped. Have you seen this picture 108? The book? Do you see the picture on your book? Huh? I need answers, please.
Yeah.
Yes, I see it. I see it.
Okay. So here on the camera, it has flipped and it shows the correct right and left. Okay. But on your book, the blue side is on your left, right? And the red is on your right when you face it, isn't it? Yes? So always place this heart on your body and then check which is your right and which is your left. So if you keep your heart on yourself, this picture on yourself, then you will always have right and this side is left. So right of your, this is a wrong picture, by the way, it's flipped. Okay. This is what you should be able to see when you flip your picture and put it on yourself. So the right part of the heart is your right and left will be your left, right? But on the paper, you see the opposite, isn't it? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, miss.
Everybody. So when you look at the heart and you look at it as not your right, you will look at it as somebody's heart in the body. So then the right will be left and the left will be right. Make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. This is very, very important to get because from now on, whatever you, the questions or the lesson will progress only if you understand the right and left side of the heart. Okay. So look at this. This is the right and that's the left. Because in the body of this person, the right is this side and the left is this side. Okay. So the right side of the heart will be blue, which is oxygen poor blood, and the left side of the heart will have oxygen rich blood. Tell me if you're confused here. You can see my screen, right? So on the screen, I am saying the left is the red portion of the heart and the right is the blue portion of the heart. Do you understand why? Open your mouths and say something. I have to understand that you got
Miss,
this
could
right.
you, I understand, but like, I don't know what to say.
It is okay. Just by looking at my screen here, you see the right side, which is when you look at it, your right side is actually the left side of the person who has the heart. This heart is on that body. So the left side of that person is your right side. Do you understand? Justin, Dylan, the others, Aaron, have you understood this?
Yes, miss, I understand, but it's a little bit confusing.
What is confusing?
Like, what do you mean by like poor blood when you said poor blood comes from the right?
Okay.
Like, is it mixed with oxygen or what do you mean by poor?
Who is this? Aran Kaban?
Yeah.
Okay. When I say oxygen poor blood means this blood is coming from the rest of the body where the blood has given oxygen and has collected or picked up carbon dioxide due to respiration of the cell.
Oh, so the red one is like new
Red
oxygen,
one, you'll
basically.
understand more as we go through the lesson. You will understand that this is oxygen-rich blood coming from the lungs, and therefore the left side of the heart has oxygen-rich blood and the right side of the heart has oxygen-poor blood. But what I'm trying to get at is, when you look at the paper, you look at the heart like this, but your right side is not the right side of the heart of the paper. Okay,
Oh,
your right side is the left side of the heart, and your left side is the right side of the heart on the paper. Okay, so if you take the heart on the paper and place it on your chest here, okay, suppose this is my heart. Heart is the size of your wrist, okay, so this is here on the chest, okay, and if you keep your heart here, then this will be my right and this will be my left. But if you put it and look at it this way, the blue will come to the left and the red will come to the right, which is not true. Do you understand what I mean? It's so difficult to do this here this way. But I hope you've understood what I'm trying to say. Is there anybody who doesn't understand the right and left of the heart? Okay, everybody who sees this picture, tell me the blue part is what side? Is it right or left?
Right.
The blue part is the right. That is true. That is correct. Okay, and the red one is the left, right? Okay, can I move ahead with the lesson? Did you all get this? The right and the left of the heart? Yeah? Okay. To complete the key for this diagram of the heart, okay? Now only do the blue side first. So side of the heart, this blue side, is it the left side of the heart or the right side of the heart?
Right side.
The right side.
The right side of the heart. What is the type of the blood? Is it oxygen
Oxygen poor.
rich or oxygen poor?
Deoxygenated.
Type of blood in the blue side here, is this oxygen poor or oxygen rich?
Oxygen poor.
Oxygen poor. Remember, the oxygen rich blood is always going to be bright red in color. Inside the body, I hope you don't confuse that inside the body the oxygen poor blood is going to be blue in color. No, okay? Inside the body, the blood will always be red in color, but if it is oxygen rich blood, then it will be a very bright red, orangish red color. And if it is oxygen poor blood, then the blood will be very deep maroonish, and very old blood will be blackish in color. So when there is oxygen, the color becomes bright and red, okay? It doesn't become blue if it is deoxygenated. Remember that. So this is good. Okay. So how does the blood circulate around the body? That's a little video which I have marked here. You can see it later on. So how does blood circulate around the body? So blood is pumped around the body by the heart. It takes about 30 seconds for blood to go once around the body, starting with the left side of the heart. What route does the blood flow to complete one circuit of the body? Now listen to this very carefully. We are going through a very, very important portion of this chapter. So the left side of the heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. So the left side, where there is oxygen-rich blood. That part of the heart pumps the blood which goes to all the different parts of the body. This blood supplies body cells with oxygen. They pick up carbon dioxide, and then this oxygen poor blood travels back to the right side of the heart. Look at this diagram and tell me you understand or not. What did we say? The left part of the heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to the body cells, and the blood then picks up carbon dioxide because it carries oxygen here and gives it to body cells. Body cells use up that oxygen, release energy and produces carbon dioxide, and then that carbon dioxide is picked up by the blood, and then that blood goes to the right part of the heart, to the right side of the heart. Okay, this is one circuit, one part of the circuit. Now, this oxygen poor blood, yeah, this needs to lose its carbon dioxide. So what will it do now? The heart will push this blood, which is oxygen poor blood, to the lungs. Why to the lungs? Because we are breathing in oxygen. So now this oxygen poor blood goes to the lungs, picks up oxygen, becomes oxygenated, and then it is transported back to the heart. Okay? This completes the blood's journey around the body, and this journey of the blood is called double circulation in mammals. What is this called? It's called double circulation. Okay. Why is it called double circulation? Dilan, you think I'm going very fast? Okay, I'm going to repeat myself again. Okay. The blood circulation in mammals is called double circulation. Why is it called double circulation? Before that, let's look at the circulation of the blood. Okay. And then we will look at why is it called double circulation. Now, the blood starts from the heart. The oxygenated blood starts from the left side of the heart that pumps it. Okay, and the oxygenated blood goes to different body cells. It transports the oxygen to the body cells. The body cells picks up oxygen, uses it for respiration, and then releases carbon dioxide, which is picked up by the blood again. So now this blood, which is coming away from the body cells, is oxygen poor and carbon dioxide rich, therefore deoxygenated blood. Now this deoxygenated blood comes back to the heart. Okay? Now in the heart, this deoxygenated blood needs to get back its oxygen. So what happens? This right part of the heart, where the deoxygenated blood comes in, it pumps the deoxygenated blood to go to the lungs, right? Why to the lungs? Because we are breathing in air which has oxygen. So a vast amount of oxygen is available in the lungs. So the blood now, which enters the lungs, picks up oxygen, becomes oxygenated, and then now this oxygenated blood comes back to the left part of the heart, left side of the heart, and then this whole thing begins again. Did you understand this?
Yes, miss.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Dilan, did you get that? Okay. So the whole circulation pattern, this is called double circulation because the blood starts from the heart and then it comes back to the heart one time. Then it goes to the lungs and again comes back to the heart. So the blood goes through the heart twice, and therefore it is called double circulation. Yeah, during one complete circuit of the body, blood passes through the heart twice. So the heart has two jobs to do, and so the circulatory system involves a double circulation. Two jobs means one job is to transport oxygen and nutrient to all the cells in the body. Other job is to carry the deoxygenated blood back to the heart and then to the lungs to get oxygenated. Okay, so in one complete circuit of the body, the blood passes through the heart twice, and this is why it's called double circulation. Please write it down. What is double circulation?
Double circulation means I feel like it's basically when the blood basically travels like through a artery through a artery to the through a vein to the right side blood for heart, and then it goes to the lung through a artery pulmonary.
Okay.
And then the blood will go through the vein, basically the vein in the left side heart.
Yeah, Ara,
Yeah.
you won't have to say in so much details, which I have not yet done. So the rest of the class will not know what you're talking about. You are trying to explain what is double circulation. Explain the way I just did. What did I say? The blood travels through the heart twice. How does it travel through the heart twice? Can you tell me that? Ara? Try telling me that.
So it
Yeah,
goes.
write it down, Daro. That's why I'm waiting for you. Just write this bit. During one complete circuit of the body, blood passes through the heart twice, and this is why it is called double circulation. Yeah, Ara, can you tell me how the blood passes through the heart twice? I don't want to know which artery, which vein, all of that we will come to know later. Just answer double circulation. Why is it called double circulation?
Miss, because so basically the blood goes to the body cells, and then it goes back to the heart. But this time it goes to the lung and it comes back to the heart.
Yes. So the heart, which starts off from the blood, which starts off from the heart, goes to different parts of the body, comes back to the heart. That is one time. Then this blood goes to the lungs and then gets oxygenated and comes back to the heart again. So this is 2 times the same blood is going through the heart twice. That is why it's called double circulation. Did the rest of the class understand what I'm saying? Yes?
Yes.
This is a good time to ask me questions.
Miss.
Yeah.
So one time, the blood comes back deoxygenated, and the other time, it comes back oxygenated.
That is right.
Okay.
That is right, Adan.
Miss,
Okay.
one question.
Yeah. Tell me.
Are we doing 2 o'clock to 4? Are we doing 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock?
2 to 4, but I did not start at 2. I think I started at 2:15. Why?
2 to 4? Oh, because
Yeah, because I missed your class on Sunday, which was which is 4 to 6, right? Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah, what is the problem?
no, it's 4 to 5. No, it's just I wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, 2 hours of lesson. And anyways, I had started very late, about 15 minutes late. Oh God, how long are you taking to write this little thing? I'm moving on. I'm sorry. I can't wait so much.
Miss, this is on the Google Classroom, right?
Yeah. But when I ask you to write down a definition, you must write down a definition. Okay? Like I just told you now. So the double circulatory system has two parts. Okay? So this part, which, now listen up, everyone, stop writing. Listen. This part, which transports the blood to the rest of the body, the lower part of the body, or not lower, all the parts of the body, is called systemic circulation. All right? Systemic. Systemic, systemic circulation, which carries oxygenated blood to the rest of the body through the arteries and deoxygenated blood back to the heart through the veins. Okay, so this is called systemic circuit. I'll just show you one here. Look at this. So this heart is carrying oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. Here, down side of the body to like the liver, digestive system, lower body like the limbs, legs and hands and feet, and this vessel takes the oxygenated blood to the upper side of the body, that is from your shoulders, neck and head, right? So this circulation is called systemic circulation. Can you see that? Right? Now, there is another circuit of circulation here, which takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs and then gets the oxygenated blood back to the heart, right? This is called pulmonary circulation, right? Anything to do with the lungs is called pulmonary. So there are two different circuits in one cycle of blood, in one cycle of circulation: systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. So what does the pulmonary circulation carry? It carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs, and then it carries oxygenated blood back from the lungs to the heart, which is then ready to be pumped out into the systemic circulation. Did you understand this? So the double circulatory system has systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Which way does the blood flow in the circulatory system? So which would be the systemic circulation? Here, the systemic circulation will be this, and the pulmonary will be on top near the lungs. So now, single circulatory system, which is in the fish. Look, we just learned about double circulatory system. This is a single circulatory system which happens in the fish. What does it do? Okay, before I go in the single circulatory system, okay, I hope you understand. All of
Miss,
you.
I got kicked.
I can't care about that anymore. I can't download Zoom. I will not do that. And this kicking around, I don't know. Then whoever gets kicked out and the person who's kicking, both you may not join my lesson. None of my lessons, this is the problem, except for 10A. Behave like juveniles. What I'm asking, can you please answer? Have you understood pulmonary circulation? What is pulmonary circulation? What is systemic circulation? Okay, I'm then moving on if you don't want to talk. So in the single circulatory system in the fish, what happens is In the double circulation, you saw the blood going to the heart twice, right? In single circulatory system, what will happen? It will just take one cycle, or it will not pass through the heart twice, but only once. So look at the blood, okay? The blood moves around in the body, okay? Then in the systemic capillaries, it picks up carbon dioxide and then goes through the heart and then goes to the gills, you know, where the exchange of gases takes place in fish, in the gills, right? Oxygen, which is dissolved in the water, is then taken inside. And then that oxygenates the blood, and the blood moves around in the body, and then it picks up carbon dioxide and through the veins get into the heart. Okay, so this is single circulatory system in fish. Now, what is the difference between single circulatory system and double circulatory system? Well, the number one difference is fish have a single circulatory system in which the blood travels from the heart to the gills, where it absorbs oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. And in mammals, in double circulatory system, there are two circuits from the heart. One passes from the heart to the lungs, and one passes from the heart to different organs. That's the number one difference, right? Then the another thing about single circulatory system is because the blood is going through the heart only once, the pressure is not much. Okay, so the flow of blood is, can you go back to double circulatory? Which one, Prusha? Yeah, I think I spoke very much in detail on that slide. Can you please ask me a question if you didn't understand this? Can you tell me what you didn't understand? Prusha
Miss,
or whoever.
Miss,
Yeah,
do we have to know those name of the veins and stuff?
which vein?
That was written on the diagram on the PowerPoint. Those portal vein lip and those stuff. Do we have to
Yes.
know?
Why are you bothered now? When I will do the blood vessels, you will know about them, which ones to know and not. Don't worry about, yes, and you're supposed to know all the arteries, all the veins that is given here on this thing. Yes, you're supposed to know, but not right away. I'll teach you each one and why they are named that way so that you will never forget. There is a way to understand all this. Okay? Don't jump the gun. And Pusha, this is the difference between single and double circulatory system. Is that the one that you wanted? Okay. Right. Okay. So I was on this slide anyways. So the single circulatory system and the double circulatory system, the difference is in the double circulatory system, the blood passes through the heart twice, right? And in the single circulatory system, the blood travels from the heart to the gills. It absorbs oxygen and releases carbon dioxide and then flows from the gills to the organs, tissues in the rest of the body and back to the heart. There is just one circuit from the heart. That is why it is called single circulatory system. While double circulatory system, it goes through the heart twice. Now, I think I've told this enough number of times. But this is the number one difference between single and double. But the most important difference between the single and double is in a fish, blood travels much slowly to a fish's body's organs than it does in a mammal because of this single circulatory system. Why? Because it is going through the heart once. Okay, listen to this carefully now. In the single circulatory system, because the blood goes through the heart once, the heart pumps once, and therefore the pressure keeps becoming less and less as it goes to different parts of the body. Okay, this reduces the flow of the blood. So then it will take time for the tissues to get oxygen and nutrients. Whereas if you have double circulatory system like we have in us or in any mammals, because the blood is going through the heart twice, it is getting pumped twice, and that is what maintains the blood pressure in the blood, and that makes the blood flow faster, and therefore all the muscles and tissues, cells, they get nutrients at all time and oxygen at all time. Okay, so
Miss,
yeah,
uh, is that the same reason that fish can't breathe outside of the water?
no, fish can't breathe outside the water because it doesn't have lungs. It has gills. That is why.
Oh,
Okay, but the fish movement is very slow sometimes, and then it takes speed, and then becomes slow, and then it takes speed because the blood takes time for it to move through the tissues. Yeah, because the pressure becomes low, right? Ara, I can't. Okay, I'll try to repeat it. If your connection gets better, I hope you can hear again. Um, So I was saying double circulation system in mammals is very helpful because in case of heavy respiration of cells, when oxygen is required immediately, because the pressure is maintained, the flow is fast of the blood, and therefore nutrients and oxygen are always getting circulated in the blood, in the body, right? Therefore, double circulation is really much better than single circulation. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to the next topic. Right. So now we will look at the structure of the heart. But before that, let's see whether we can do something on Sonica. Okay. Circulatory system. This. So the circulatory system, all animals have circulatory systems around their bodies. These systems are made up of blood vessels, a pump, that is the heart, and valves to stop blood moving in the wrong direction. Remember this. The circulatory system consists of blood vessels, the pump of the heart, and valves and the blood. So in the double circulatory system, mammals have a double circulatory system where blood travels to the heart twice per second. We've done all of this. So the double circulatory system gets oxygen. Systems get oxygenated blood to tissues like muscles that need it faster than single circulatory system. Right? Look at this. Single circulatory system will be like this. Because the blood only travels through the heart once, and therefore it is called single circulatory system. So fish have what is known as a single circulatory system because blood only travels through the heart once, right? Now, which of the following groups of organisms have a double circulatory system? Which are mammals? You have to say it instead of typing. Right, mammals. Daniela, all right. Now, the blood enters the heart.
Miss, you keep lagging for me, miss.
Who's this?
Uh, it's Dustin, miss. You keep lagging. I can't. It's cutting up.
How can I help that? It's an internet problem. Okay, record me then, somebody. I'll record myself. I'll record it, okay? In case you miss anything, you'll get it later on. This hour, I'll record. There. Okay. So now we're going to look at the structure of the heart, okay? So the heart pumps blood around the circulatory system. What is the heart made up of, do you think? Does anybody know what is the heart made up of?
Miss, shall I say it?
Yes.
Cardiac muscle cells.
Cardiac muscles. Very good. It's a muscle tissue, and it's called cardiac muscle. The heart is made up of muscle and it keeps pumping blood around your body even when you're asleep, right? So, what do the blood vessels on the outside of the heart do? Do you see the blood vessels here? These are called coronary arteries and coronary veins. What do you think they do? If heart is a muscle, then it would need what? Anyone? Hello? Did you understand the question? What do the blood vessels on the outside of the heart do? They carry nutrient and oxygen
Miss,
to the heart.
miss, you keep cutting up for me. I don't know why.
Dustin, you have to be patient. I can't do anything about it. I'm now recording my lecture so that whatever you miss, you can get back to it. Okay? That's the best I can do for you right now. Right? Okay. So they carry oxygen. Yes, Daniela. They carry oxygen. That is true. So oxygen for respiration and glucose for respiration because the heart has to pump all the time. So the heart is full of blood, but also it needs its own blood supply so that the muscles can keep pumping. Therefore, the blood vessels supply blood to the muscle tissue, and the blood vessels on the outside of the heart carry oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle cells. Okay, and then it also carries the coronary veins also carry the oxygen poor blood. Oxygen poor blood is then carried away from these heart cells by outer blood vessels and back into the heart. So the inside of the heart is divided into two sections to keep the oxygen rich and the oxygen poor blood separate, right? Now each side of the heart is also divided into two sections, the left side and the right side. And the heart has, each section of the heart is called a chamber. And there are four chambers in the heart, right? Top two chambers and down two chambers. And what are they called? The four chambers of the heart have special names. Does anybody know already? What are the top chambers called?
Is it upper and lower?
Atrium.
Atria. Very good.
Oh,
Who said that? Ara Nadiban, I think.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So this is the right atrium on top, the left atrium here, and the lower chambers are called what?
Ventricles.
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 That is right. So the right ventricle right here and the left, right? So the right atrium, left atrium. Okay, no, come on. Please mute yourselves. I don't want to hear music and people talking in the background, please. A lower chamber is called the ventricle, right? So, right, okay. So the chambers of the heart, they have different functions, right? So look at this. The atria, they collect the blood that enters the heart, right? Which blood? The right atrium collects the blood from the body that is coming to the right atrium, and the left atrium collects the blood from the lungs that comes here. Okay, you'll understand it better in a minute. Just remember this. The ventricles pump the blood out of the heart, right? So the right ventricle pumps the blood out of the heart to the lungs, and the left ventricle pumps the blood to the body. Look at this very carefully, okay? So each chamber of the heart has a different function. The right atrium collects the blood from the body. The right ventricle pumps this oxygen poor blood to the lungs. The left left atrium collects the blood from the lungs. Therefore, this is the oxygenated blood. And then the left ventricle pumps the blood to the rest of the body. Okay? Did you understand this? It's very simple to understand. Each chamber has this distinct verb. Okay. Just tell me this. I'm pointing here. What is this chamber? Adan. What is this chamber called?
Is it the left atrium?
Atrium.
Atrium.
2 atria, 1 atrium. All right. So the left atrium. That is the correct answer. Good. Barrow, the left atrium collects what? What is it collecting?
Blood from the lungs.
Very good. Okay. What is this? Aran Kaban. What am I pointing at? Which chamber is this? Aran Kaban, are you there? Okay. Erin, are you there?
Yes, miss.
What is this chamber called?
It's the right atrium. It collects the blood from the body.
Right. And what is this called? Not atrium, it's atrium. What is this? What is this?
Ver something. I forgot the name is.
Right or left? You tell me that.
It's the right side.
Right ventricle. Okay?
Ventricle.
It's called right ventricle. What is this part? Dilan? What is this part? Dilan, are you there? What happened to him? He's not here? Okay, Dustin, you tell me. What is this part I'm pointing at? Come on. Can you hear me?
Miss, I can't hear
Okay.
anything. Like it's cutting up for me, Miss. Sorry,
Right.
Miss.
Yeah, it's okay. Aza is here.
Hello.
Aza, can you tell me what is that part that I'm pointing at? What is this? Aza? That's the right ventricle. And then I can't waste time anymore. I mean, this is crazy. You don't want to answer, or you don't,
Miss,
don't have
I
a,
was unmuting my mic. Which one?
where were you?
What do you mean? Where was I? I was here. I was unmuting my mic. The app was loading.
No, I did not hear you, Dilan. Okay, you're right. Fine. Aza, what is this part called?
The right ventricle.
Right ventricle. You are sure? Which is the
Yeah.
right ventricle? This is the right ventricle.
Left.
The left ventricle.
Yeah.
See, now you're confused between right and left.
Okay.
How many of you don't understand what is the difference between right and left of the heart? When you look at it, your right is its left. Do you understand? So this is your right. This part is the right part from where you're looking at it. But you
Okay,
have
it's
to
the left.
imagine this in the
As-
body of someone. And then
Okay.
that means this is the left. Did you understand?
Yep, understood. Sorry.
Okay, so this is the left ventricle and it is pushing blood to the where?
I don't know actually.
Were you even there? I don't know. Dylan, can you hear me? Can you tell me where the left ventricle pushes the blood to? Anybody? I just want an answer so that I can move
To
on.
the rest of the body.
That is right. Thank you. Right. So, this is again just a recap of what we were doing so far. So this is the anybody, just so that I can move on. What is this? Right atrium, left atrium. Here, blood to the lungs, blood to different parts of the body. And this is right ventricle, left ventricle. You have to get your right and left correct, right? Match each chamber to its function of the heart. Right ventricle, what does it do? It pumps blood out of the heart to the lungs, right? Is it a right statement?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so right atrium collects the blood from the body and pumps blood to the right ventricle. Is that a correct statement? Read this. Right atrium collects blood from the body and pumps blood to the right ventricle. True or
Yes,
false?
right.
Right, okay. Left atrium pumps blood out of the heart to the body. Is that a correct statement?
No, it's wrong.
It's wrong. Very good. Collects blood from the lungs and pumps blood to the left ventricle, left atrium. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
Okay. And so left ventricle will pump the blood out of the heart to the body. So I am seeing over here that a lot of you have understood. And if you have not, you can ask me now. I'll give you a minute to type your questions if you've not understood something. So you can type now. What to repeat, Dasan? Can you repeat? It means what? I have covered so much of information. Oh, okay. The last 3 minutes, we were just doing this. This is an exercise. Match the following. So these two are correct statements. Left atrium is here, left ventricle is that. You go through it, you will know on your own. Right is left and left is right. That is true. Yes. When you look at it on the page, okay, not in real time. Like when you put this page back to your heart, then right it becomes left and left is right. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next part of the lesson. Right. Now I'm going to look at the different vessels here, okay, the structure of the heart. Now let's go here and let's do this. So the deoxygenated blood from the body enters into the right atrium of the heart. And I don't know what they're trying to show. Blood pumped to lungs. This deoxygenated blood is pumped out of the heart and towards the lungs by the right ventricle. everything that I was just telling you. And at the lungs, the deoxygenated blood exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen. This is how it becomes oxygenated blood. And then the blood returns to the heart, into the left atrium, and then from the left atrium into the left ventricle, and then it is pumped out of the heart to the body by the left ventricle. All right, so let's look at this. So the circulatory system of mammals is called a what circulatory system? Hmm?
Double, miss. Double.
Yes. Because blood passes to the heart.
Twice.
Whoa, I did something wrong. Oh. Can I go back? Okay, I'll go back. 1 second now. Did something stupid. Wow, I did this already. Okay. Okay. What process, wait, deoxygenated blood from the body enters, yeah, okay. What process does the body use oxygen for? Look at the options. What process does the body use oxygen for?
Respiration.
That is right. Why is the mammalian circulatory system called a double circulatory system? It is called double circulatory system because we've done this how many times now? Because it goes through the heart twice per circuit, right? Was that easy to understand or hard to understand? I'm going to go with easy. I think it was easy. Single and double. Okay, right. So this, the double circulatory system. Order the steps describing how the double circulatory system works. Look at this and tell me the order.
Deoxygenated blood from the body enters the right atrium of the heart. That's going to be the first one.
Wallahi.
Yes, Aran. Okay, then.
The deoxygenated blood is pumped out of the heart and towards the lungs by the right ventricle.
Right,
That's
and
right.
then, okay.
And the third
At
one
the
is
lungs.
right too.
If I get at the lung, the oxygen blood exchanges carbon dioxide for oxygen becoming oxygenated.
Okay, and then?
Swab 5 and 4.
That is right. Who said that?
Aran and Iban.
Okay, good. I think we are done. Right, okay. So which of the following groups of organisms has it? Of course. Everybody agrees with me, I hope. Right. Okay. What have you written to me? What is this, Daro? What's wrong with you? Typing? Pay attention to what we're doing right now. Right, okay, so this we already know. Fish, what is known to have a single circulatory system through the heart once in every circuit. right? Okay. So tell me this, blood enters via the atria, okay? And then we will do this in a second, but before that, let's go back to this. Okay. So we're going to look at the different vessels of the heart, okay? But before that, I don't want to do this. This is so much in detail now. I do this. Let's go to some exercise. Here, blood circulation, okay? The transport of materials and living things is called, text your answer, please. That's right. In human circulation is carried out by the liquid called, oh, come on, blood. Blood is pumped by the, okay, blood is pumped by the
Heart.
That is right. Okay. Then blood brings to cells things like what and what?
Nutrients and oxygen.
What is given to you? You're right, but that is not what is given there. Check.
Food.
And oxygen. That's right. Blood picks up what from the cells?
Waste materials.
That is right. Yes. Okay. Now, at home, you will do page 109, questions 9.1 to 9.7. Okay. Questions 9.1 to 9.7. And
Miss, what's page again?
109, 109.
And what else? Only that?
9.1 to 9.7. And
That's enough.
When is this due for, Miss?
Sunday.
Okay.
Allah.
What do you mean, Allah?
I'm happy.
Miss, how should we send back the answers to you?
No, do your answers and then like I did it with 10A today. I'm sorry, 10B. I discussed it. The first thing that we meet, first 10 minutes, I just see your answers, discuss it, and then move on to the next part of the lesson. Okay?
Okay.
On that end of the unit chapter questions of chapter 7, yeah, was there anything that you did not understand? Anybody? You want me to do it with you right now? I can do that to check the answers. Or you can ask me questions if you didn't understand something. No? Tell me anything? Yes, no, maybe what?
I understood everything.
No, the answer is no. Okay. You could answer everything. Okay. So let's go back to this lesson. I just do the main vessels of the heart and then we'll stop there. Okay. So This main vessel, which originates in the left ventricle, this is called aorta. A-O-R-T-A. Okay. This is the largest artery of the body. This artery branches into three on top, and all these three blood vessels or arteries, they supply blood to the upper part of the body, and this aorta goes down into the lower part of the body. Okay, so that's the biggest artery of your body, called the aorta, which originates in the left ventricle, because that's where you have the oxygenated blood. Now, from the right ventricle, you have this big artery coming. So remember, what did I tell you? The vessels which carry blood away from the heart is called artery. And the vessels which bring blood to the heart is called vein. Remember that. I'm repeating again. The vessels which carry blood to the heart from different organs is called the vein. The vessels which carry blood from the heart or away from the heart to different organs are called arteries. Remember that, okay? Now, so look at this. This is a big artery right here. What is it carrying? It's carrying deoxygenated blood. To where? Where is it? It is carrying this where to? To the lungs. To the lungs, right? Because it is originating in the heart, and and blood is moving away from the heart to an organ. Therefore, it is an artery. And where is it going? To the lungs. Therefore, it is called pulmonary. Pulmonary means anything to do with lungs. Remember that. So it's going to the lungs, and therefore it is called pulmonary. Why is it called an artery? Because this vessel is taking blood away from the heart. Therefore, it is a pulmonary artery. But the interesting fact about this is the only artery in the body which carries deoxygenated blood. I'll repeat that. Pulmonary artery is the only artery in the body which carries deoxygenated blood. Why? Can somebody tell me why? I just showed you why, actually.
Because there's deoxygenated blood in the right ventricle. So when it takes it away, it takes it back to the lungs. So
lungs,
yeah,
to the lungs.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that is right. What happened to my computer? Oh my God. Okay, so pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood. All other arteries carry oxygenated blood. Okay, now once it goes to the lungs, the blood picks up oxygen, and it is carried to the heart from the lungs into the left atrium. So now the left atrium is receiving oxygenated blood through a vein. Why a vein? Because it is carrying blood from an organ to the heart. So the blood is getting carried from an organ to the heart, and therefore it is a vein. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the lungs. Therefore, it is called pulmonary vein. And again, you must appreciate this, that pulmonary vein is the only vein in the body which carries oxygenated blood. All other veins in the body carries deoxygenated blood. But because this vein comes from the lungs, where the blood picks up oxygen from the lungs, that is why pulmonary, that has to do with lungs, is called pulmonary vein, because it is bringing in blood from an organ to the heart. Therefore, it's a vein, and that is why it's called pulmonary vein, which is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood. Is that clear? I can't go slower than this. But like Daro said, do we have to remember? And he sounded little worried about it. But if you learn your vessel's name according to the function that they do, then you will not forget. Okay? So what is pulmonary vein and what is pulmonary artery? Are you clear on that? And where do they start and what do they do? Are you clear on that? Everybody? Yes or no? Give me an answer. You can text me right now. You're not clear, Daro? Oh my God.
Yes, miss.
Daro, you didn't understand? Yeah? You don't understand still. Why is it called pulmonary? Okay. Daro, anything to do with lungs is called pulmonary. Okay?
Miss, by doing that, give the medical specialty, like the medical job specialized in lung is called pulmonology.
Okay. Dustin. Okay. So, Daro, look at this. Anything to do with the lungs is called pulmonary. Okay? So, this vessel, which is carrying blood to the lungs from the heart, is called pulmonary artery, because artery is the vessel which carries blood away from the heart. Okay? And again, pulmonary vein, because it is coming from the lungs. So anything to do with the lungs is called pulmonary. And why vein? Because veins are the vessels which carry blood to the heart. So in this case, where is it coming to the heart from? It's coming from the lungs, therefore pulmonary. And it's coming from the lungs to the heart, therefore it has to be a vein. So now that's why it's called a pulmonary vein. That's all I'm trying to say. Did you understand that? Thorough. Okay. Anyone else? You're welcome. Okay. Next. Okay. Now, this is the last bit that you must remember in this diagram. As of now, there is much more to remember, but we will pick it up from next lesson from here. Okay. So there are two more important veins that you have to remember. One is called inferior vena cava. The other is called superior vena cava. Vena cava are the veins which carry the blood to the right atrium or to the heart. Okay. So why is it called inferior vena cava? Both are vena cavae, but this is called inferior vena cava because it carries the blood from the different lower part of the body, and that is your, your legs, your limbs, your abdomen, your chest, back. All of that gets into the inferior vena cava, and superior vena cava is the vein which comes from your upper part of the body, that is the shoulder, the neck, and the head. Okay, they deposit their deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Remember this. Okay, so this is called inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. So now we have learned three major kinds of blood vessels which originate which either come or originate in the heart. The first is the aorta. The second is the pulmonary artery. Okay, they originate inside the heart. And then there are two kinds of veins which come to the heart. One is the pulmonary vein, which comes from the lungs to the heart, and the other is inferior vena cava and superior vena cava, which comes from the lower and upper part of the body to the heart. Okay, so you must write this down. Give me the names of the vessels that I just spoke about. Just give me. Somebody write and tell me. Lots of information. That's why I'm asking you to write. Come on. What are the different vessels we just talked about, which either originates in the heart or brings blood to the heart? Inferior vena cava, right? Pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Very good. Okay. Aorta. Adan, pulmonary what? That's right, Taro. Superior, okay. Okay, so I hope you've understood this lesson today. It's been a little complicated lesson, but I hope you've understood. Yes? Okay. Right. Zara, I'm not talking. Zara, what right and left ventricle? I'm talking about blood vessel. Why are you giving me chambers of the heart? It's okay. I think I'll stop here now. I think you've understood, most of you. That's right. Adan, perfect. Okay. That's right. Adan did a good job. Right. Perfect. Okay. That's the end of this lesson. I hope you've had a good understanding of it. I want you to um, go through the presentation, which I'm going to right now post it in Google Classroom, and go through the homework from 9.1 to 9.7 questions. All right? All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you on Sunday.